Hey guys, I'm David Wolf with TechPowerUp News, and this week I got a lot of AMD news with some info on the specs and launch of AMD's Polaris. NVIDIA makes a major change to legacy video support in SLI, all coming up. The long wait for Polaris is nearly over, with AMD reportedly getting ready to launch their first cards later this month, according to Zilcorn.com. Naturally, with these types of launches, expect to see some sort of big event, this particular one possibly in Macau, China, right before Computex 2016 in Taipei. Zilcorn also reports that media invites have been sent out, albeit in small quantity, in comparison to the NVIDIA GTX 1080 event last week. It would be really awesome to be in attendance. The event may include the paper launch of Radeon R9 400 series cards built on Ellesmere and Baffin chips, with the cards becoming available close after. Some new info regarding Polaris 10 and Polaris 11 has popped up. AMD is prepping both a performance GPU and a mainstream GPU. Ellesmere, the performance segment chip, could feature 32 compute units, down from the 40 that was estimated previously, which obviously brings up some concerns about performance. If each CU is 64 stream processors, that means the chip has a total of 2,048, with AMD claiming it to offer 5.5 teraflops floating point performance. Just a little side note, I know flops isn't always an accurate measurement to go by for, say, performance in games, but the GTX 1070 is at 6.5 teraflops and the 1080 at 9, according to NVIDIA, of course. AMD's partners are a little upset about this, as it doesn't really look good, and you can read more about that in an article I linked below. The second in line, also referred to as Baffin, may feature 14 compute units, with a total stream processor count of 896 on the chip. This would be used for mainstream products, succeeding the R7 360 series as the go-to for some decent performance on a budget. The chip's peak single precision floating point performance is 2.5 teraflops with a 50-watt TDP and should come with 4 gigabytes of 128-bit GDDR5 memory. I guess NVIDIA's GTX 1000 event has got AMD shaking in their boots with some very impressive performance estimates, as AMD has reportedly decided to move the launch of the next-gen Big Silicon Vega 10 from launching in early 2017 to October of this year. The chip will succeed Granada, built on the 5th generation of graphics core next. Vega 10 is slated to be a multi-GPU card with HBM2 memory built around the 14nm Polaris architecture, with a speculated 4096 stream processors, while another card, Vega 11, would feature 6144 stream processors, with both cards using a 4096-bit HBM2 memory interface with differing amounts of RAM with each card. Naturally, the higher-end Vega 11 would be expected to have more. If you tend to gravitate towards ridiculous multi-GPU setups, you may be disappointed with this generation of NVIDIA cards. NVIDIA reportedly told the press that they will be focusing on two-way SLI for maximum performance. That leaves one wondering whether or not 3- or 4-way SLI will even be in the cards this time around. NVIDIA's SLI HB bridge in a way corroborates this idea, limiting connection to only 2 cards as the connector uses up all SLI contact points between both cards. However, if 3- or 4-way SLI bridge is included with the motherboard function with these cards, you may be able to expand your system further. Though the idea is kind of risky, as there's no word on whether or not there will be driver optimizations for such setups, leaving you to rely on applications natively being able to work with 3 to 4 GPUs, or hope that DirectX 12's native multi-GPU support functions well enough to get a good return on your investment in the ways of frames per second. Way is singular. If you're still using VGA monitors and you're looking to upgrade to NVIDIA's upcoming GTX 1080 card, you may have to upgrade your screen as well. Or screens. NVIDIA has decided to drop support for VGA connections, as AMD did with their high-end cards almost 3 years ago with the R9 290 series. If you use, or try to use, a DVI to VGA dongle to achieve a connection, you won't get any signal. Although if you're very adamant about keeping your VGA connector, your VGA monitor, you could likely just achieve a connection with an external converter box. That is if you want to spend the money with a VGA to DVI converter, vice versa. Keeping a freaking old-ass monitor old probably sucks. Get a new thing, come on. The GTX 1080 will feature a single dual-link DVI connector with 1 HDMI 2.0B and 3 DisplayPort 1.4 connectors. That's all the news I have for this week, but there's more every week, so stick around. Naturally, I can't fit absolutely everything that happens each week into these videos, so luckily we have a website, TechPowerUp.com, where we post the latest tech news. Here's a link for that right here. I'm going to put that right here. Also in the same vein, we have the forums where you can ask questions, read up on other people's experiences with different tech. I'm going to get my face out from behind this box. You name it. And there's another link right here. Clicky, clicky.